All right. So if you guys haven't muted yourselves, I'm just going to go through and mute you just to make sure everybody's muted. Eventually you guys can obviously, we'll have some time for a question and answer at the end. And if you have any questions that you don't want to forget about, you can always ask in the chat as well. Chris will be watching the chat as the call goes on. This will be about a 30-minute call. And it's all about recruiting and building your team and how you're going to find your next recruit. So who's excited about that? Good.
Oh,
All right. Okay. So for those that don't know me, I think you guys all know me. But if you don't, I'm Dawn Spencer. I'm in Gurnee, Illinois. I've been with Scentsy for 15 years. It'll be 16 in December. And then we have Chris Danner. She's over here for me, but I don't know where she is for you. There she is. She's waving. Chris, you want to introduce yourself?
yep, I am Chris Danner, and I've been a Scentsy consultant for 16, almost 17 years. It'll be 17 in March. Crazy.
Crazy. You're almost in your adulthood in Scentsy.
I know. I'm ready to go to college. No, not really.
Almost getting there. Better fill out all those applications.
Nope, not going. I'm gonna do
Um,
Scentsy forever.
right. If you guys want, we'd love to know how long have each one of you been with Scentsy. So put it in the chat how long you've been with Scentsy. That'd be awesome. But so we'll get started. And as you guys are responding, Tiffany, 3.5 years. Tiffany, it feels like you've been with Scentsy for like 7 years. I don't know. It feels like you've always, not always, but it feels like you've been with it for a long time.
Yeah.
11 years this month. Holy cow, Melissa. 2 years, 4 years, 12 years.
14, Kristen.
Wow, Kristen.
Her baby. I remember when she had her baby and brought her baby to team meetings that we did. And she's like
Oh,
a teenager now. It's crazy. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
we
Fun.
blink.
9 months.
We blink and it goes. Yeah. Who's that? Alicia. 9 months. Awesome. Welcome. Welcome, Alicia. Let's see. Since August, Robin said. Wonderful. I think I saw them all. So you guys see there's like a huge span of some really seasoned consultants and then some pretty new consultants here. So, and then we'll have several people, lots of people that'll watch the recording. Hopefully the recording works. Sometimes it glitches. I don't know why it doesn't save sometimes, but hopefully we don't have that issue today. All right, so we are going to talk all about recruiting and how you're going to find your next recruit. And what I wanted to start off with is to explain why it's important to recruit. And for who on here has recruited, raise your hand before. Like if you have at least one person on your team, you can raise your hand or type it in the chat. Was that everybody? I didn't really look. I think it was everybody. Okay, so everybody kind of gets an idea of how it feels to recruit. But the reason why you want to recruit is to build your team. And the reason why you want to build your team is because you want more money. We all want a little extra income. We want a little extra income and hold on. There we go. And you can make a little extra income with Scentsy, or you can make a lot of extra income with Scentsy. Both Chris and I, and maybe some of you on here do Scentsy full time. Who does Scentsy full time on here? Anybody? Michelle, Melissa, would you say you do it full time? Yeah, Melissa said yes. And anyone
I
else?
feel like Kristen does it full time, but she's just,
Kristen.
yeah.
She's like, yeah. So it definitely can be a career for you if you decide to do that, or it could be a side gig where you're just making a few extra dollars, which some of you, that's what you're doing, and some of you are making thousands a month. So it just really, and there's a lot of in between, right? So it all just depends on what you want with this business. And you cannot make more than your your commission from your PRV. You can't make more than that unless you're building a team. And when you start building a team, then you're going to start making bonuses. You're going to start making more money off of your own sales. So it just kind of it adds up really fast. And in the beginning, it's going to feel like chump change. It's going to feel like, oh, well, that was only 15 bucks or $100. And then gradually it like builds up and builds up and builds up. And if you continue to do if you what I did was I recruited 2 people. I tried to recruit 2 people a month and do 2,000 in sales. And I did that for years. And that helped to build a really solid foundation. So if you do that on a regular basis and teach your team to do the same, it will pay you well. So that's why you want to recruit. Um, the the thing that I think is really important that you know is every month, not every month, but most months, Scentsy is offering a recruiting special. So like this month, it's 40 bucks to sign up. And that's for anybody that wants to join, as long as they have not been a Scentsy consultant in the past. So just make sure you're always doing your research and you're keeping up. I know a lot of you have jobs separate from Scentsy, so it can be a lot to remember, but if you can just keep up with like knowing the recruiting specials and other things that are going on with Scentsy, it really will help you to get the word out there. So, and then you guys know you can always flip a party, right? And you can always turning your host into a consultant so that she makes the income off of that party. And then in turn, you have a new recruit. So that's always an option as well. So you guys, and I'm preaching to the choir myself over here, okay? We have to change our mindset. And I know it's really, really easy to get to talk ourselves out of sharing this blessing. And that's actually I wanted to say that first, is this is a Scentsy is a blessing. Each one of you are on here and you've been blessed some way, somehow by Scentsy. It could be a small blessing, it could be a medium-sized blessing, big blessing, but some way, somehow, Scentsy is blessing your life. And so I would love to hear in the chat how Scentsy has blessed you, like maybe in the last 3 months or 6 months or even a year. Like, what have you been able to use your Scentsy money on? What have you been able, maybe a trip you've been able to earn from the incentive, or some way that Scentsy has blessed your life? For me, it has like 100 times blessed me. Like it's just blessed me so much. And I think the main thing is having the freedom to be able to do whatever I want to do from home. If I want to get a part-time job, I can do that. If I want to walk, go on a walk in the middle of the day, I can do that. Like I have nobody telling me what to do and how to do it. It's blessed my marriage in so many ways. My marriage was on the it was just not in a good place when I first started Scentsy, because the main thing is we were always stressed financially. And so that really took a toll on our marriage. And I remember the first trip that I earned my first trip and didn't take it because I only earned it for myself and I didn't want to go by myself and I didn't know anybody. So I didn't earn that. I didn't take that one. But the first trip that I earned, and Jeff went with me, it was to Hawaii. It completely changed our marriage. I remember, and you guys have maybe heard me say this before, that before this trip, like we felt like business partners in a sense, like we were just raising these kids and like roommates. And I remember just thinking, I don't even like this dude. Like it just, we were stuck, right? We were just stuck in a really bad place. We were arguing all the time. We were fighting about stuff constantly, just bickering back and forth. And we went on this trip to Hawaii, and I was like, I forgot that we were friends. Like we had a moment to be friends and to remember what we liked about each other. So that was huge for for our family. Honestly, I don't know what would have happened if since he didn't come into our lives. Like it's just been such a blessing. So some of you are saying, let's see. Doing this full time is my main goal. Let's see. Fix my car. Wonderful. Is that Marla or Maria? I probably should make my my lettering better. Marla, it looks like. Melissa, incentives, bills, friends. Yes, I love the all caps and friends. That is such, you guys, the Scentsy friends are the best. Right, Chris?
Yes.
Yeah, all you guys are my friends.
Mhm.
Um, let's
Well,
see.
it's fun because you meet people that like you would have never been in your path.
Yeah.
Like you just would have never crossed paths until you came together because of Scentsy. And
Yeah.
then you realize you have so much in common and you become like best friends. It's just really neat.
Yeah. Honestly, I mean, I could travel all over the United States and have a friend in most states because of Cincy. I was able to go to boot camp and still help with the bills, savings account, and many trips with my son's wedding. Yes, Nikki, I loved watching that. That was so beautiful. To pay bills, and I've met amazing friends, freedom to make great income, money while raising my children. And Chris raised her babies. They were little babies when 3, 4, 2,
Like 4 and 6.
4 and 6.
Oh,
Okay.
4 and 6, and now they're 22 and 23.
Yeah, it's crazy. Crazy. I'm saving some money for Christmas and have met the most amazing ladies. Love that, Robin. And you just started, right? You're the one that just started like 9 months ago. Is that right? If I remember correctly.
Mhm.
My monthly goal is to make, oh, it went away. My monthly goal is to make enough share for a horse.
Actually, I think Robin just started. I think she just earned level 2 of sensational start.
Oh,
I think,
wonderful. Yeah. Oh,
which
she
is
said 2 months.
awesome.
2 months.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, wait, go back to Kristen here. What are you doing with the horse? And pay for a dog training? That's wonderful. What's a share board, a horse? Can you explain that? I'm just curious. Oh, you're muted. You can mute
There
yourself
we
now.
go. I couldn't find the
Oh,
mute
there you go.
button. I share board a horse, which means I get a lesson in a week and an extra ride every week.
Oh,
So,
I love that. So it's kind of
yeah,
like a timeshare, but with a horse.
it's like leasing.
Okay, cool. That is so cool. I love that since he allows you to do that. So you guys can see like there's such a, like, there's no small blessing, right? They're all blessings that this Scentsy business has been. Scentsy is a blessing for retirees. It helps fill the days. I love that, Sharon. And she has all this time with her grandbabies. I love seeing your pictures on social media. So um allows me to help my husband financially while staying home, raising my 4-year-old son with special needs. Oh, wonderful. Thank you for sharing, everyone. So you guys can see, like, Scentsy really is a blessing, and it can be really easy to get sucked into, and I've been there, and I've been there for many different times, 15, 16 years in this business. Like, you do this, right? There's times where you're like, you're on your high, and there's times when you're on your low. But the times I'm on my low typically are those moments where I'm thinking about how, oh, nobody wants this. Like, um, I'm not thinking of it as a blessing to someone else and how this business can really bless someone else. So when you change your mindset and you remind yourself this is a blessing, um, people need this, and they're not going to know about it unless you tell them. Okay. And that leads me to asking and how important it is to ask. They say that what was it? What's the saying? Now it slipped my mind. Get your ask in gear, something like that. Yeah, get your ask in gear. So you girls need to get your ask in gear, okay? And make sure that you are asking like everyone. I talked to Deb Pitts Palmer, who's like a huge recruiter, huge. And she says she talks to everybody. She tells everybody about Scentsy. Everybody. Do I do that? No. Is my recruiting down? Yes, because I don't ask everybody. I don't share this with everybody. But she's going to the counter at Southwest and giving them a sample and sharing Scentsy with them everywhere she goes. She's got her stuff with her. She's packed. She's packing, and she's getting her asking gear by just sharing the opportunity with people. And I think if everybody was honest with themselves, especially those that are struggling in the recruiting department, you would, if you were honest, you would say, I have not been asking. I've not been telling people about this beautiful blessing. So I'm going to challenge you all with a few things tonight. One is to ask at least 20 people a week if they've ever thought about doing this business. If they know anybody that's looking to make extra income. Those are two different ways that you can ask somebody. Or have they ever heard of Scentsy? Because it might be somebody that's never bought Scentsy from you. You'd be surprised as to what people are going to say, and how many people might actually be interested. They might not be interested, but their sister might have just lost her job and she's really needing some side money because her husband's been nagging at her for buying stuff on Amazon, and now she wants some Amazon money so she doesn't have to worry about what he has to say. So yes, ask away. And that leads me to if you don't ask, the answer is always no. It's very seldom that somebody's going to sign up underneath you that you never asked. It's very rare. It does happen on occasion. So I shouldn't say never, but it's very rare for that to happen. So if you don't ask, the answer is more than likely no. So that leads me to, we've got to get to the point where you're okay with hearing the word no, and you're not offended by it, and you're not, hold on, my dog's scratching the door.
this is perfect that she had to get up too. For anyone who asks already or, tries to open up conversation starters about joining Scentsy and doing Scentsy, put in the comments, put in the chat
Oh,
what
yeah.
you most like to use, because it does really help those of us who are in a rut, or maybe we're just looking for some new material, like a new way to bring up the whole join conversation. And we've got new people who recently joined Scentsy. It'll be super helpful for them. But even for those of us who have been around for a while, sometimes it's just good to hear somebody else's thoughts. So I'm going to challenge you guys all to put in the comments a way that you could invite somebody to look at the business model.
I love that. Thank you. So yeah, so just a reminder that it's okay to hear the word no. You're going to hear the word no. It's just what it is. So if you, I've heard this many times, like if you go to a restaurant and the waitress asks if you want coffee, you might not want coffee. Since I had COVID 4 years, 5 years ago, 2021, whatever, I guess that would be 3 years ago. I don't like coffee anymore. So is she going to be offended because I don't want coffee? No, she's going to keep it moving to the next table. Is she going to be offended if I don't want dessert? Because maybe I'm on a strict diet at the time and I don't really want to have the sugar. No, because she realizes she doesn't want it right now, but maybe she'll want it the next time she comes. It's okay to hear the word no. And I actually wanted to kind of do a little experiment with you guys. There aren't that many of you on here. So if you can, unmute yourself and ask me to join Scentsy, one person at a time. Cami, will you ask me to join Scentsy? To start a Scentsy business? Can you
Put
unmute
me on the spot.
Yeah, you're on the spot.
Um,
Just ask, like, just easy, like will you join Scentsy?
have you ever thought about joining Scentsy?
No, not really interested though.
Well, we have some pretty cool deals.
But I said no, and that's okay, right?
Yep.
It's okay. And you say, okay, well, thanks. If you ever have any questions or if you know anybody that's ever might be interested, let me know. Like, no pressure.
Right.
How about let's see, Michelle, will you ask me to join Scentsy?
So we're going to close out your party, and I want to offer you this host exclusive kit that you can get. So I go with what your party earned, and this is how much free stuff you can get, or you can join and go on the Scentsy journey with me today, and this is how much commission you can earn on your party, just for buying your own product and getting your own discount.
Oh, well, that sounds really interesting. I don't think I'm really interested right now, but you know what? My sister might be interested. So she's been talking about making some extra income. So I'll mention it to her. Would she be able to do that?
She sure would. I'd love to talk to her about it.
All right. So perfect. So I said no, but I said maybe somebody else is interested. How about one more person? Anybody want to do it? So I don't have to call you out. That was perfect, Michelle. Anybody? Anybody?
Scentsy.
Oh, is that Julie?
Yes.
Okay, what did you say? Did you
Would you
say
like to join Scentsy?
it cut you off the first time? I'm really not interested. I work full time right now. My kids are crazy busy, but I appreciate you asking.
Okay. Maybe I'll ask you next time, or if you know anybody, please refer them to me. I would
Perfect.
appreciate it.
I sure will. And I love, Julie, I love that you didn't make me feel uncomfortable about saying no. You didn't get pushy with it. Because sometimes, and I had this happen to me one time. Now my dog is whining to leave. Like, dude, you want to come in now, you want to leave. Like, we're not fun enough for you. She's over here whining. Um, but Mary Kay. So when I was 18, this lady from Mary Kay was like super pushy. She's like, you'd be great at this. You'd be great at this. Like for months, she begged me to start selling Mary Kay. And finally I was like, fine, leave me alone. Like maybe she'll leave me alone. It was the worst decision I ever made. But it just wasn't for me. I'm not into makeup like that. And I didn't really like their model. And you had to wear like stuffy clothes. Like I could not show up like this on a call. Like no way. Or we didn't have calls back then like that, but in person, there was a lot of stuff was in person. But I could not just show up like this with no makeup on my face. No, no, thank you. Not interested. But all that to say is she was super pushy and I ended up joining, but I didn't want to. Right. So I think it's always best to not have that pushy mentality and just let people know, hey, I'm here for you. If you ever have a question, like I'm not here to push you or pressure you. If you feel like this is something that you might be interested in, I'm always here to talk. So I love that, Julie, that you said that. Okay,
And you
so
also have to just keep asking, because you might ask one time and they say no. I have the lady that joined me in September. She does a party for me about every 6 months, and I've asked her every time she's done a party to join. And for the last 3 years, she's told me no. And finally in September, she told me yes. And she hit her shooting star, and she's less than 200 away from being certified since September. So
beautiful.
it just has to be the right time for them. So just keep asking.
Yeah, things change for everybody, right? Every season is different. And so you just never know what season they're in. Thank you for sharing that. So I'm running out of time, but I wanted to talk about ideas on how to get your next recruit. So parties is like the #1 way to get your first recruit. We talked about you can flip your host. That's super easy. Basket parties. And the other thing I want to talk about is who here makes samples? Does anybody make samples? Raise your hand. Samples are a great way to get Scentsy in front of somebody else and a great way to like kind of start the conversation. And that can happen anywhere. Like you can give away a sample anywhere. It's like a little gift to somebody. You can make some really cool samples. I have some ideas here for you guys that I'll show you in a second. But cashiers, neighbor, bus driver, hairstylist, flight attendant, teacher, waitress at the drive-through. You guys can put some ideas on the chat if you want. But there's so many different ways that you can pass out these samples, and it can be as cheap or inexpensive or as pricey as you want. It's a tax write-off. But there's so many great ideas out there, and I'm just gonna kind of show you a few different ones. Some of them I haven't put together yet, and that I'm challenging myself to get my asking gear and get and start making more samples. So the easiest one and the cheapest one is wax samples. So I like these little Mylar bags that you use a flat iron to close the end of it. It's open at the end. And so it comes like this. And it's like open at the end. So you just slide it in there. I got these long nails on right now. They're not long nails on, they're actually my nails, but they're long. Then you get done soon. And then you just use a flat iron to close it shut down here. But it's really nice because the scent doesn't actually like transfer. So these are really nice when you need to send somebody something in the mail and you have like 5 different scents to send them, testers to send them or whatnot. They won't transfer to each other. They won't all smell the same. So that's the cheapest way to do it. And honestly, you can use a knife, you can use a crinkle cutter. That's the easiest way to do it. And all I do is I use the sticker that comes with the scent of the month. And then I use like a QR code sticker with my information on it. Another way is you could use a little spray bottle like this for room spray or oops, I opened it wrong. For room spray or for Scentsy Fresh, or there's just so many different. It just depends on what we are offering at the time. You have these little guys here that you can pass out that you can give. You can put either lotion in there, you can put washer whiffs, you can put scrub in there when we offer scrub. If we have scrub at the time, you can add a little love to it. So these are just different things that you can either give away to somebody that you just met, or you can give obviously to a customer as a thank you gift. Oil, these are really nice for oils. If you want to give an oil sample away. And I can share any of these links. This is like a smaller little container for maybe a hand cream. Works really nice. You can just put it in you can pass it out just like that with a little sticker on it with your information on there. People love hand cream. And actually this works out really nice for hand cream as well. And this comes with like a little instrument that helps you to get the cream in there so it doesn't get all over the place. And the last thing I brought up was this. This is like for washer whiff. It's like I don't know, tube cylinder thing that you can put washer whiffs in it. It's just something people are like, what's this? Keep them interested. So another thing that is, I think, important is when you are putting together your orders to make sure that you're putting in there, or if you're sending a thank you, putting in there a postcard. These postcards I make a bunch of them at a time from, I want to say Canva. It's not Canva, Vistaprint. From Vistaprint, and I can share I don't know if I could share this from Vistaprint. I just made it on Vistaprint years ago, and I've updated the pictures. And if you don't have pictures of like anything that you've like these are my traveling pictures, some of the traveling I've done with Scentsy. If you don't have that, just do pictures of your family, your Scentsy Y, on there. But it has my story on the back, join us, and my information as well with my family's picture in the back. So those are just some ideas. Scentsy also sells some samples as well. So you just want to make sure that if you make samples that you pass them out, because if you're not passing them out, it's just a waste of your time and money. So could you share the link for the wax sample bags, please? Yes, these, yeah. They're little Mylar bags. I think they're like 1 by 2 or something like that, but I'll share the link. I think I got them off Amazon. Last but not least, let's see. If for some ideas for not in person, take advantage of the messenger on Facebook. Reach out to people on the side and just say, hey, I had you on my mind. Maybe somebody that you noticed lost her job, or somebody that's being a stay-at-home mom, just had a baby. Just thinking about you. Have you ever considered selling Scentsy? Something like that. Is a great way. So if you do that, if you're intentional about that, then the recruits will come. It's just a matter of being intentional. If you're not intentional, you're not going to get the recruits that you want. So get intentional, guys. Get intentional. So the she's so distracting. Oh, one last thing, and then I'm done. I pulled this out because I used to use this on a regular basis, and it was really good for me to stay intentional and to stay focused with recruiting. I'm gonna leave the door open so she can come and go. But it was just like a binder. I think I put it together maybe for a team meeting or something, but it's kind of like a dream board in a sense. But you don't have to do all that. But what I love about this is that I put together recruiting. So I just used like regular sheets of paper, right? And I put together a list of people that were interested in the business, or that I thought could be interested. And then I gave each one that actually said they were interested in the business their own sheet of paper. And then I in each little divider here, one says warm, one says hot, one says not ready. So I guess that would be cold. But I like not ready better. And then I have one that says signed up. So these sheets would get shifted around based off of what where they were. So if they were interested in the business, obviously, they would be warm. They're thinking about it. If they were very interested, they'd be hot. And if they signed up, they'd go under the sign up. So that was just like a really great way for me to stay focused on recruiting. And I'm going to update it this week and just get it updated. Some of these people I might reach out to again because it's been a while since I reached out to them. So that's just one way you guys can use so many different things for that. You can do your own like little notebook, or I love these notebooks from Marshall's is usually where I can get them from. Home Goods or Marshall. They are spiral bound. It's where I keep all my to-do lists. And it just keeps it really nice because you can easily fold it and all that stuff. So you could use one of these. They're like $5 or $6 at Marshall's or TJ Maxx. I think I said everything I was going to say. Does anyone have any questions? Or was there anything on the chat that we should make mention?
Let's see. So obviously the link where you get the wax sample bags, and a lot of comments about how people do samples. I know Melissa said besides wax, she gets a lot of bang for her buck by doing washer with. Kind of the conversation went to like how we get recruits off of parties, but sometimes it's hard to get parties. So parties and recruiting, a lot of the same thing. It's really asking and getting creative with new ways to even ask people to book a party with you. I kind of do shopping links a lot, and sometimes that conversation turns into more. So
Yeah.
where do we find the monthly join specials? Robin is asking. Do you want me to answer that, or?
Yeah, you can.
It's so Robin, there's a couple of different ways, but typically on our team pages, we will share them at the beginning of the month, but also at the beginning of each month, when you go into your workstation and you click on your news tab, you're going to have everything new that's coming for the month. And so there will be something about any join special in that news tab front and center. And then also just a reminder, you guys, you can watch the live with Dan Orchard, and that's going to be tomorrow night. And they always sometimes hint at what's coming. So it's always fun to be like, okay, at the end of October, they're going to do it tomorrow, so it doesn't conflict with Halloween. They'll give you little teasers and hints of what is coming in November. So good to see you, Nikki. Thanks for hopping on. I see that you've got to go too. Yeah, yeah. So really a lot of just great comments. I don't think we missed any questions. I was going to just also bring to you guys' attention something that Dawn and I didn't have access to when we joined Scentsy is a really nice contacts tab on your workstation. And so I am using this a lot, especially with my really good customers, to open up that conversation because I have customers who will spend $600 to $1,000 a year on Scentsy with me, right? And I'm sure some of you guys have the same, okay? And it's easy to forget how much they're spending, but on that contacts tab on their profile, it pretty much adds it up for you. And you can go and see all their orders. And so the next time that customer contacts you, and you could even do what Dawn's doing, like have a, you know, like my top customers and record their orders on that little page. Like this is somebody who's warm because they love Scentsy. They buy a lot of Scentsy. You know, if you can say, well, you've spent $600 this year with me on your own Scentsy purchases, you know, would you ever consider getting cash back on what you love by becoming a consultant? It's a good soft way to get them to consider joining, and you can tell them exactly what they could be earning back.
Mhm.
And to save them money on what they love, right? We all look for a good deal. So
Yeah.
I do that quite a lot. But that contacts tab was nothing that we had access to. We had to go old school and go through all of our order forms and keep them and file them and add them up. And it was very, I don't know, cumbersome.
Annoying. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
very
yeah,
annoying.
kind of clanky and
We're
old.
we're very spoiled now.
Yeah, yeah. But I think that's another Dawn, when Dawn's talking about intentional, that's a good intentional way to look back at people and maybe find some of those top customers and use that approach. You know, just thank you for being such a great supporter to me. But I just wanted to let you know there is a way you could be saving money with Scentsy. Would you ever consider being a consultant like
Mhm.
I'm doing?
Mhm. Yep.
Okay.
Love
So,
that. Thank you for that added bonus.
yeah, yeah.
Hey, so we have about 13 people on right now. So I guess 11 people that would be entered into the drawing.
I recorded everybody that was on. I know a couple people maybe had to leave, and that's fine. And I actually I'm giving a couple people because you challenged them to come out of their comfort zone and ask you. So I'm maybe giving them 2 chances to win a
Ooh,
gift card to Michelle, Julie, and Cammie because they played along with you.
awesome. So they're all winners.
No,
They've all been they've
uh,
been all put in
they're
twice.
getting 2 entries.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
They're getting 2 entries. So I need you to pick 2 people or 2 numbers. And I just said this wonky, but between 10 and 24.
14 and 22.
Nikki Slade and Michelle Slade. Isn't that
Hey.
crazy? They're sister-in-laws.
Oh, goodness.
And Michelle, your bonus number is what won the entry for you. So I'll send you guys both a gift card. And thank you guys so much for coming on
Yes.
and
Are
participating.
there any, you guys are welcome to leave at this point. But I just wanted to stay on if anybody, I'm sure Chris will too. If anyone has any questions, last minute questions. Anything? No? All right. Speak now or forever hold your peace. It's been so nice to see you guys. And thanks for hanging out with us. Next month is our month that we're gonna do our team holiday party.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
November. So we'll be doing a holiday party. So we don't have a date yet, but we'll have it soon. So we hope you guys can
And you
join.
just don't want to miss it because we spoil on that one.
Mhm.
We
Yeah.
do like some fun. We do like a lot of giveaways. So
Mhm. We
It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun on that one.
There's hardly any learning, but it's okay. It's all for the fun. It's all for fun and sisterhood, Scentsy sisterhood. All right, ladies. Well, thanks for joining us tonight. Have a good
bye
night.
guys. Have a good evening. Good to see you all.